This is the plaintiff, Justin Stam. He says he and the defendant dated for 7 years, and he bought an engagement ring for their impending marriage, but they split up. Now he can't seem to get the engagement ring returned, and since there's no more commitment between them, he wants it back, or the value of it. He's suing for $2,891.85, the cost of the ring. This is the defendant, Bradley Myers. He says the ring was a gift, plain and simple. The plaintiff's just saying it was an engagement ring now because he thinks the law's on his side when an engaged couple splits up. Well, this was not an engagement of any type because a man cannot marry a man in the state of Ohio. The plaintiff's a liar, a control freak, and a manipulator, and he thinks the judge will see right through him. He's accused of breaking a lover's heart.
All parties, please raise your right hands. Be seated and come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn.
Justin Stam, you are suing your former boyfriend, Bradley Myers?
That's correct.
Okay, for $2,891.85, the cost of a ring that you gave him that you say was an engagement ring and that he has refused to return or pay for after you broke up. Tell me what's going on.
Well, Your Honor, it was more of a commitment ring that would be together for the rest of our lives. It's a real shame that we're even here today. This guy right here, Bradley Myers, has been the love of my life. I might not even be here today if it wasn't for him.
How come?
I was a meth addict for probably about 4.5 years till I met Bradley.
How'd you meet him?
We actually met partying. Bradley was the first guy my whole life of partying that wanted me to quit. Everyone else just wanted me to keep partying. I found the love into him. He's like my best friend. To this day, I wish I could be with him. I've done everything I could for him. And he's done.
But was he your best friend or was he your boyfriend?
Both.
Okay.
It was like my bestest best friend and my lover on top of it.
How long did you date?
7 years.
Tell me about the ring. When did you give him the ring?
He kept saying, if you're serious and you want to be with me, you'll put a ring on my finger. So about 5-6 months ago, I was able to buy a 1.3 carat diamond from a pawn shop. Brad fell in love with it right away and made a deal with the pawn shop owner. He was asking $3,000 for it. I ended up getting it for $2,000 cash.
Is it just the stone or was it a ring?
It's just a stone, Your Honor. If you'd like to see a picture, I can.
Yeah, and can I see the receipt for it too?
Sure. Well, I don't have a receipt from the pawn shop. It's a pawn shop.
So what evidence do you have about the value of the ring?
Here's a receipt from where the ring was made into where the diamond was made into a ring.
But you don't have proof of the actual diamond's cost, right? You don't have the pawn.
No, I have.
You have proof of the $895 to turn it into a ring. But now I want to hear listen up. I want to hear and you have stuff off the internet. Got it. But
right,
I want to hear from you testimony about the circumstances under which you gave him the ring. You take him to the pawn shop. He sees the diamond. I think says I love you. Well,
before this,
then he sees the diamond. He falls in love with it. You buy it. But what happened before that caused the two of you going to the pawn shop and looking for a bigger ring? Was he hawking you to get him a ring?
Oh, yes. Oh, okay. Yes. If you want this to be a serious relationship, you got to put a ring on my finger.
Okay.
There's many men out there that will put rings on my finger if you don't want to do it. If you want to do it, then do it. So I did it.
Okay. According to you, he was singing the Beyonce song?
Right.
If you want it, then you've got to put a ring on it.
You could ask him, he would know it.
Okay. I know which song it is. I just can't get the image of Justin Timberlake out of my head every time I think of the song. All right, so go on.
Got the ring, or got the diamond, had it made into a ring.
And gave him the ring.
And gave him the ring.
Okay. Now, you had originally called it an engagement ring, but now you're saying it's a commitment ring.
I've never called it an engagement ring. It's always been a commitment ring.
What did a commitment ring mean?
It's meaning that I'm committing my life to him, that I'll be faithful to him, that I'll be there for him, that we'll spend the rest of our life together. I understand that we can't get married, especially in the state of Ohio. I know our state's allowed to, but in the state of Ohio, They don't recognize it. So, but two people can have a commitment, and that's what I thought we were going to have.
You could also leave Ohio and go to any of this, I think 6 states now. I mean,
but I don't know if that's legal or not. I mean, if you go to that other state and get
legal.
married.
Ironically, yes, it is legal. You can go to that state and you can get married in that state, and then you go back to Ohio and you can't get divorced in Ohio. So you're really stuck with each other. You can't get a divorce. You would have to. You can't because for divorce you have to have residency. So you can't get divorced in Ohio because they don't even recognize the marriage to begin with, and the majority of other states don't either. But you can't get a divorce in Massachusetts because it's a residency requirement. When you guys go somewhere else to get married, you better really mean it because you can't get out of it. In any event, according to you, that wasn't what you guys agreed to anyway. What you did was give him a ring because you love him and it was a commitment and to show your commitment, lifelong commitment to him. In fact, this is not the only gift that you got.
No, Your Honor. I've given him probably in this last year alone over $20,000 worth of gifts. I gave him a 1987 Corvette with only 66,000 miles. I've given him over $5,000 worth of gold chains. I've given him over $3,000 worth of diamond earrings. He does not work. In 7 years, he has not worked. I have supported him for 7 years.
Why hasn't he worked?
I don't know. You'd have to ask him that, Your Honor.
No, I'm asking you why you'd stick around with a guy who won't work.
Because I love him. Because I've never felt the way that I felt or being around him.
Okay, let me hear from you. What's going on?
I don't even know where to start. I personally, I don't.
Do you have the ring here?
The ring's gone. I sold the ring and the Corvette.
Okay, tell me about what happened here.
What happened, he gave me the ring, was I was in the past, starting last August, I started cosmetology school, and I graduated in July. He
says you haven't been working in 7 years, and he's been supporting you. Is that not true?
I have not. My last job was 4 years ago.
For a month.
Hold on.
No, I worked for 6 months at my last job, and then I was ill, and at that same time I bought my first home, which Justin and I lived in together. And I didn't charge him rent. I didn't, I
have my own house.
Just a second.
Sorry.
He lived in my.
Maybe it's none of my business, but how did you afford your own home if you haven't worked in 7 years?
My mother was killed in a car accident when I was a child.
So did you two live in your home?
Yes.
And was it paid for or was it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So did he pay rent while you were living in your home?
No.
Okay. And were you guys together 7 years? Is that true?
We've been off and on for 7 years.
Okay.
It's not been.
Is it accurate that you were telling him put a ring on it?
Sometimes yes. Most of the times no.
Well, what did the ring mean? What was the ring supposed to be?
One day, it was actually the weekend after his birthday, I get a telephone call while I'm at school that he was packing his belongings from my house, which he wasn't living in my house. He has his own house at this point in time because things had fell apart in the past and, he moved out of my home. And so he calls me and texts me while I'm at school and tells me that he's packing up his stuff and he's leaving. And I said, well, why? Just calm down, chill out. We'll talk about it when I get home at 6. And he packed up his stuff and left. And his reason being was that he wasn't being satisfied appropriately. That's, I guess, a nice way to put it. But,
okay.
So he packed up his stuff and he left. And I was really upset because he's never really wanted to talk about anything or really work through anything like an adult. Everything
is all this stuff that you're telling me, this is before the ring?
This is before the ring.
Okay, so then how does the ring come up?
So he's gone. We're not, it had been like a month time frame that we hadn't been together. From the middle of June, I graduated July 9th. And after he left and packed up his things and after his birthday in the middle of June, he bought me the Corvette, which was a gift. I didn't pick out this car. He went to the auction and I've always wanted a Corvette and he bought me a Corvette.
And when had he bought you a Corvette?
This was in April. The car was bought in April.
Okay. Was the car under your name?
No.
Okay, so now then you break up, and then now it's July, and what happened?
Well, I could no longer afford to drive the car because I was driving 60 miles a day to school.
So when you broke up, you still had the car?
No, before he had left, I parked the car at his house in his yard, and I had a
So when
Volkswagen.
you broke up, it's under his name and it's his car. And then you guys get back together. You get back together, right?
He decided to be very nasty, and he took pictures of other guys on the hood of the car because...
Oh, that's just nasty.
Right.
All right.
And also,
So why'd you go back with him?
he called me and, you're the only person and this and that, and
So you go back with him what month?
This was the middle of July.
All right, and when you go back with him, you tell him what about the title of the Corvette?
Well, I told him if he's serious and all those things he said, that car needs to be put in my name because it was a gift to me.
Because nothing says I love you like a title?
Well, I mean, if your name's on it, it's yours.
That's right. All right, now tell me about the ring.
The ring and that go together
Tell me.
because at the same time, I told him, the car needs to be put in my name. It was really dirty. There's some of the things that you did to me. You need to make it right. And, the ring was a gift. He took me to the pawn shop. He asked me,
But what kind of gift? Was this a commitment? What? Tell me the circumstances around the gift.
It was to apologize for the crappy stuff that he's done.
Did he say to you, this is was there some romantic, this is a commitment? Was there anything like that?
It was just to show his love and affection.
No, I'm not asking you to conclude what it was. I'm asking you to tell me what was said.
It wasn't
Did he ever say to you, this is a symbol of that we're going to get married and we're going to do this or we're going to do that or any other such thing?
It was just, this is how much I love you.
Okay. So here's the thing. There are laws in every state that govern engagement ring issues. And engagement rings are treated differently than other gifts.
Right.
And most of the states say an engagement ring is a gift in contemplation of marriage.
It's conditional.
I am less concerned. You said all over your answer to the complaint, well, you can't get married in Ohio, so that can't be it. I'm not concerned with what I analyze it to be now, because you can fly anywhere. You can fly to any of 6 states and I am concerned with what you two thought it was. You are suggesting that he bought it for you just because he was so happy to have you back in his life.
Right.
And you are submitting to me as evidence of his willingness to buy you that, look, he put a Corvette in my name, and it happened at the same time, Judge. You are suggesting to me that this was a ring with some conditions on it, and the conditions didn't happen.
That is correct, Your Honor.
And therefore you want, just a second, and therefore you want him to give the gift back. This has nothing to do with gay straight. You understand that, right? Like if a guy gives a girl a ring and says, it's a commitment ring, he has no law to come to court and say, broke the commitment. How did you guys end up breaking up anyway?
He left me. He left.
Why did he leave you?
I went, one of my girlfriends from cosmetology school, she got her first new place and she invited me, it's about 45 miles north from where I live. She invited me to come play cards and have drinks, and she made dinner, and I went to...
Can you just give me the Reader's Digest version of this?
I got drunk and ended up crashing on her couch, and that he packed up his stuff and left.
And welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So does the guy who gives the ring get the ring back if the two of them break up?
Yeah, I think so.
Why?
Well, if the same rule applies for straight couples, I think that it should apply.
It doesn't, because Ohio doesn't allow gay marriage. And they're from Ohio,
true.
right?
That's true. That's an excellent point.
It is an excellent point. What do you think?
It's just a courtesy thing.
So a courtesy, but not legally required.
No, no.
Okay, and you get the last word.
Nah.
Now what? Nah. Okay. Nah. Going inside the courtroom.
Okay, and why you say did you break up?
Well, Your Honor, I got online, and here's his profiles online of him being single. It shows the log-on dates of when he was on there,
Right.
of him looking for men on the internet.
All right,
And here's
so he
his
was
profile.
okay, got it, stop. So he was looking to step out on you. He put his profile online. He was looking for another man. So
That's
you guys
right.
break up. That breakup happened when?
November 9th.
Okay. So have you guys seen each other since then, or is this the
No.
first time?
I've contacted him for the ring. I told him you can have everything else. He still had the Corvette at that time. Told him, all I want
How are you
back.
going to get back the Corvette?
What?
That's very big of you and very generous, but you're not going to get back
because
the
a
Corvette.
Corvette is a car. I look at it as that's
No,
a
but you're
gift,
not-
that's a car.
in
But
other
a diamond,
words,
a diamond
Mr.
is a
Stam,
standard.
I know, Mr. Stam, but do you understand that there's no way you would be able to get back the Corvette when you say, he can
I
have
don't want
everything
it.
else? Well, I know you
That
can't
was
have
a
it
gift.
anyway.
That was a gift.
It's not even, that doesn't need saying. You can't have it. See,
Right.
you bought him a bunch of stuff.
But if you go
Hold
back
on.
to what I
No,
said
you
2
need to
years
listen.
ago.
I want you to listen to me. According to you, you showered him with all these gifts. And according to him, this was just another gift you showered him with. According to you, it was custom made. And that's fine. But what gives you, what you don't understand is that here's a default. The default position is a gift, tough. That's the default. For you to have the right to rise out of the ashes of the default, you have to have something you're telling me, Judge, look at the statute. You have to have like a basis to tell me rise out of the ashes of the default. All right? Stop. I have to apply Ohio law. You understand that? So I'm willing to go with you on the issue of that you could just as easily have gone to another state, gotten married, and then look at me, Judge, you got to apply our engagement ring law from Ohio. But we don't even get anywhere close to that because you're telling me that this was not something that was in contemplation of marriage. And that's the only thing that makes it rise from the ashes of the default. Gifts, because you love somebody and you thought you'd be together, does not mean he has to return it to you. And it doesn't mean he has to pay you for it. My verdict in this case is for the defendant.
Let's see what the plaintiff has to say after coming out on the losing end of this verdict. What's going through your mind right now?
I don't think the judge quite got the gist of it. And, once he got the big ring, he wanted to leave. He's online, looking for guys and stuff like that.
Is there any chance that your relationship with him was kind of a recipe for disaster and you might be better off without him?
I don't know how to answer that. I mean, love is love. And, I really care for him. But, all he really...
You would go back with him in a second?
No, because it shows that all he cares about is my pocketbook. Mm-hmm. So, and that's why he's on to the next man.
Have you learned that? And are you done with him?
I have learned that.
You done with him?
Yep.
Okay. All right down this way. Okay, so step on in here. You win this case. What's your reaction to this outcome here?
I'm just glad it's over. I'm just happy that it's over. That's really all I can say.
Did you use him?
No, I was very good to him.
Did you have real feelings for him? Did you love him?
Yeah, definitely.
And did you expect a lifetime relationship with him at some point?
I was hoping for that, but it never really amounted to that because of his insecurities and issues and
You have any feelings left over for him?
I care about him and I wish the best for him, but I don't foresee a relationship anymore at this point.
All right, Harvey?
Okay, the point being here, without a legal marriage, it can't be a gift in contemplation of marriage. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.